Welcome back, folks. My name is LastKnownMeal, and today we're going to be talking about ELEX 2 because it has been officially announced. I did talk about this before. I did say there is a huge possibility that we are going to see ELEX in 2021, that the announcement is coming relatively soon, and that the game itself is going to release by the end of the year. Now, yes, it happened actually, and ELEX 2 has been officially announced today. It also seems they're actually continuing on the story that we had seen in ELEX 1. I won't go too much into spoilers, especially for the end of the game. There might be some things, but especially if you didn't play the game, I would be kinda careful, but still, I won't be going too far into that. There are also some screenshots from the game. We are gonna be looking at them, and also we're gonna be actually reading what Piranha Bytes had to say about this game, so let's get into it. So the first things we do see in the trailer is that we are going to be returning to Megaland, the world from ELEX 1, and it does seem that events from the ending of the story of ELEX 1 are actually now just coming along, because now we have a bigger threat. And the first thing we also see in the trailer is Jax. Now, he is fully dressed in his Alb uniform, and then there is that transition where he is a berserker, there is a transition where he is a cleric, and there is also a transition where he is an outlaw, which is something that we had seen from ELEX 1. Basically, you can choose which faction you want to join, and faction systems were always a very important part of Piranha Bytes games. We also see some people that we know from ELEX 1, which I'm not going to go too far into details, but it seems that the fight that we're gonna be engaging with, against those enemies that I don't want to spoil, that the entire Megaland has to unite and settle their differences, because if they want to fight this common enemy, because this common enemy is now a huge threat towards the entire Megaland. So it's very interesting. We even see this monster at the end who is actually standing on top of this beacon. Now, I don't know if this is actually someone important from the story or this is one of the generals, but they actually kind of showed a lot of faces, which I do believe are gonna be, appearing actually in the game itself, especially like the leaders of the faction. Also, it will be interesting how they handle balancing with Jax and how his fighting skills do happen, But it's also interesting to see like how everything is going to progress in terms of factions, because obviously, a lot of things we had done in ELEX 1 will obviously have to be, kind of verified in ELEX 2, like who we joined, etc, etc. And also, at the same time, it does seem that Jax is again trying to convince this council that there is a threat we have to commonly fight, otherwise we are kinda screwed on this planet. So, definitely looking good. Now, this is just a CGI trailer, no gameplay whatsoever, but there are some images that we are going to see from their Steam page, so let's take a look. So one of the first things I want to actually show is that now Piranha Bytes decided to utilize jetpack even more. We do know that ELEX 1 had a bit of a problem with jetpacks. It was useful, but it was kinda iffy and there was not a lot of movement involved, and a lot of people basically said that they need to kind of work on that, and not just the jetpack situation, but also a little bit more responsiveness with combat, with movement, etc, etc, just on that polishing stage. And a lot of people actually said like, now okay, they are under THQ Nordic, they will have more money, and obviously they will be able to do that. So I do hope that Piranha Bytes did actually look at all of the minuses from ELEX 1 and decided to work on them, because I do believe that they will have a lot of actually new people joining this game, especially with the marketing provided by THQ Nordic. So again, here we can see that Jax is actually flying a lot higher than we ever had a chance to do in ELEX 1. So I'm guessing that jetpack now is gonna be a lot more useful for those long distances. Here we also have a bit of a screenshots. Now graphically the game is kinda upgraded, but obviously it still retains the graphical look and fidelity of ELEX 1. We shall see how much that improves. Now, generally, I didn't have problems with running ELEX 1 in, graphically, it wasn't causing too many issues, at least for me. But let me down below, did you have problems running ELEX? Did you encounter any problems on that side when it comes to that optimization? So, Here we also see a bit more nature when it comes to Megaland. Now, obviously, Piranha Bytes knows how to make their worlds. So whenever they make something like a level design or just world in general, they fill it with interesting stuff, they fill it with loot. So basically, exploration is both rewarded, but also at the same time you have to be careful where you actually move around the map. So basically the foliage looks amazing, and also this is the Berserkers part of the map. But yes, again, the old factions are actually coming back, and we shall see like how do we settle their differences. In the next screenshot, I do believe we see Hort, which is actually the cleric's place, but I am not sure. We also see some new contraptions over here, and this is actually, I believe, just a screenshot of your character if you decide to go down this path. But yes, generally, like graphically at least, the game looks like it has a lot more fidelity. Also here we see a couple of more buildings, and obviously here we see an outlaw. On the side, like again, beautiful foliage. We shall see like how they actually play around with the map, and if there are going to be some extensions when it comes to that. Are we going to be staying just in that place, etc, etc. But overall, these are the images we have so far. Now, this is also what they said in this Steam description. ELEX 2 is a sequel to ELEX, the vintage open-world role-playing experience from the award-winning creators of the Gothic and Risen series, Piranha Bytes. ELEX 2 returns to be the post-apocalyptic science fantasy world of Megaland, with massive environments that can be explored with unrivaled freedom via jetpack. You will be able to move through the epic story any way you want. So yes, here they actually do point out that the use of jetpack will be, you know, emphasized a little bit more, which I definitely do agree with. Now, this part is a little bit more spoilery, so I'm just going to warn you before I go into it. Several years after Jax defeated a hybrid, a new threat arises from the sky, unleashing the dangerous powers of Dark ELEX and endangering all life on the planet. In order to defend the peace on Megaland and the safety of his own family, Jax has to go on a mission to convince the factions to unite against the invaders and find its own son, Dex, who got separated from him. Dive into a huge, handcrafted, completely unique world with multiple factions and diverse environments set in a post-apocalyptic science fantasy universe. So basically, the kid you see at the end of the trailer is most likely Dex. So we shall see how everything and on his side is going to be progressing in the story, but definitely a lot more depth to the character such as Jax, which I do think was definitely necessary. Now here comes the non-spoilery part. This game allows you to explore the planet of Megaland with unprecedented freedom, using your trusted jetpack to traverse the map and even fly. Interact with a lived-in world full of unique NPCs who will remember what you've done and react accordingly, will join or leave your group depending on how you behave, and are able to be killed, which will have an effect on the story. Engage in a fluid close and ranged combat with massively improved control system. Nice! I'm definitely for this. Experience a story where your actions have consequences, immersing you in a world of moral decisions. This was always a strong suit for Piranha Bytes. Decisions, decisions, decisions. Whenever you make a decision, that's how you kind of progress through like the story, with joining a faction, doing this, doing that. So there is definitely a lot to be seen here, and we'll see how this whole thing is going to go, but I'm definitely excited. And of course, I will be making a lot of videos around ELEX 2 as I did around ELEX 1, so definitely stay tuned for more and tell me down below what you think about it so far. But as I said, I do believe that the release date is coming soon, and they will say that it's coming out like by the end of the year, maybe November, December, we shall see, but that's usually when they kind of release. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to smash that like and subscribe button if you actually want to support the channel in an extra way, and also don't forget to join our growing community on Twitter and Discord, and I also have a Patreon page. Check it out, and huge thanks to my current Patreon supporters. This is LKM signing out, and stay classy everyone. Bye bye.